For many, it was part of the golden age of football, standing on the terraces to cheer your team. But that was no longer considered safe after 96 fans died in the Hillsborough disaster. Now there's a growing campaign to bring back so-called safe standing, like this one here in Scotland. One of the capital's Labour MPs has today backed those calls. Chris Legg reports now from one London club wanting to trial the move.
Fans singing and standing was once a scene familiar at football grounds around the country. But after Hillsborough, clubs in the top two divisions had to make their venues all-seater. Now, the campaign to bring back standing is gathering momentum. Today, at QPR's Loftus Road Stadium, the Shadow Sports Minister said Labour backs those plans.
Whitehall shouldn't make blanket decisions. Let's devolve the powers themselves to the local clubs and their safety authorities and their fans groups to make a decision to say, is there a designated area within their stadium where people could potentially stand safely?
QPR are among the clubs who would like the option to install so-called safe standing areas.
We know that our fans are in favour of it. We think it's really important to be able to offer them the choice and to offer them a safe environment that if some do wish to stand, they're able to do so.
Why is it safe? It's very simple. You have a rail in front of you so you can't fall forward, and you have a rail directly behind you so nobody can fall forward onto you. So you cannot get that domino effect.
In Scotland, where standing areas are permitted, Celtic have installed them. In England, the government turned down an application from West Brom in April, but they will now hold a parliamentary debate after 112,000 fans signed a petition launched by 17-year-old Owen.
When the sports minister made her comments about the vocal minority, it seemed to trigger a chain reaction amongst the football fans who went, we're not going to stand for that, because there's clearly a demand for safe standing, and I believe football fans wanted her to see that.
But of course, not everyone is convinced safe standing will be safe enough. Would it not be better to have better stewarding to ensure that they do sit and remain seated?
People are unable to police the current system. The SGSA has said they are unable to police the system in its current form. It's currently not safe.
The issue is set to be debated in Parliament on the 25th of June.
Well, Chris joins me now in the studio. So, Chris, how likely is it that this might actually happen?
Well, of course, it remains a subject of huge sensitivity, and the Hillsborough Family Support Group have said they don't think it's right for this debate in Parliament scheduled for June the 25th to go ahead while criminal proceedings are ongoing, because, of course, at the moment we have former leading police officers and safety officers who are the subject of criminal proceedings, and the Hillsborough family say it's impossible to have a free and frank exchange of ideas without the risk of prejudicing those proceedings. So although we don't know how long it will take, I do think it is inevitable that eventually there will be standing areas in English football. As we've heard there, the fans want it. The sports minister said it's just a vocal minority, while the fans who have signed that petition and leading fans groups have made it clear it's more than a vocal minority. The clubs want it. QPR there joining Crystal Palace, who have said that they will design their new stadium in a way that they could implement safe standing into it. And Tottenham have already done that with their new ground. They've got an area where if safe standing is ever allowed, they can convert it so that their fans can stand there. And crucially, some safety groups are now on board too, because it is hard to argue that what we have now is safer than what is being proposed, where people have a unit of space. As you saw in that report, there are actually seats there. So in competitions where you have to sit, or if the stadium is used for another event, you have a seat, you unlock it, you put it up, and the fans are allowed to stand. And that, to many people, is much safer than what we have now, where football inevitably draws people to their feet at unpredictable moments, and when a goal goes in, there is a risk of that domino effect.
OK, thanks very much for that context, Chris.